Well, here we are in the hoop house this morning. Um, you know, so I just wanted to share this. The farmer made a mistake. Last night, I just went to bed. I'd been on the tractor doing some dirt work for the neighbors and I didn't really have my head in the game. And I thought one time, like, I need to check and see how low the temperature is going to be. Because we've been, in the 30s, actually. We've been above freezing at night. And I only have to get close. Our plants are healthy, which you'll see in a minute. And the soil's warming up and so like I can get away with a lot, but it got down to 15 inside the hoop house last night. And I know this because Chef Jake came out this morning to grab some of the fish juice to give her plants over in the kitchen garden foliar feed, and she checked and she's like, yeah, it was 15 in the hoop house, air temperature over there, and then outside we have another thermometer set up and it was 18 outside. So that is the thing. Like inside a hoop house, like air temperature can actually be colder than outside. And the reason that happens is because it's stagnant in here. The air is not circulating around. And, so it just winds up being a colder air temperature. Even though in here our soil temperature is much higher than it is outside. But that's only going to get you so far because, the hoop house. And there's a difference between a hoop house and a greenhouse. A hoop house, this doesn't have any heating. I'll point this out. I do have a fan back here that I can exhaust that runs off of solar. I'll show that. But there's no kind of heating in here. So, this is all just, with basically the solar energy we can collect during the day. What I didn't do last night was double cover. Normally, if I'm going to be down even into the mid 20s, I would have covered just because my plants will be happier and they'll do better. They'll grow bigger, faster, right? They're going to have more of what they need, and what they don't need is to be frozen to death. So, anyway, last night I didn't do that, and so let's have a look around and see how things are. You can see it's interesting. Everything always looks a little bit greener when that happens, and it's later. It's probably noon now or close to. And everything's fine. These guys are maybe set back a little bit. We move down. You can see that our clover is kind of laying over. It's like, hey man, that hurt a little bit. But everything's fine. It's great. But I know my plants well enough to know, like, oh, if I cover them last night and then just now uncover them, like they would be in that whole other state because they're really putting on a lot of growth yesterday. And so I can just see, like, I basically left something on the table there by not giving them what they needed in that way. Now, the biology in the soil, right, and all the nutrients they have is probably what saved them because, it wasn't a long time. A lot of times we'll be, it'll be 15 degrees, for, 12 hours at night. Whereas last night, it probably was below freezing half of the night anyway, and probably was only got down to 15, in the last hour or two. And, but still, I mean, that's incredibly cold, right? But I believe that the reason that things are doing so well is because of the biology in the soil, and the relationships it has with that biology. Now you can see this guy back here. This is one of the newest cabbages we put in, and you can see that guy took a pretty hard hit there. Those got chewed on a little bit. So that's, I made a mistake, and it's okay, right? Like, we need to be gentle with ourselves, but also we have to be completely honest about what we're doing. Otherwise we are not going to learn. And the bigger cabbages, you can see they're really kind of laying down, and they took a hit. Like, I just know them. So, I mean, it may not seem that way to you, but I can tell that they took a hit. But, being down at 15 degrees, for at least an hour, probably longer, and below freezing, most of the night, right? Like, that's pretty incredible. And, so I just wanted to share that. One is that, we all make mistakes. and that's totally part of it, And this is interesting. This is one of the, also, just like that little cabbage down there, the first one I showed, is, I planted that at the same time. And then this guy over here And this guy I left uncovered one night and got nailed, but you can see it's still coming back. And then it got nailed again last night, and it's still, you know, it's still trying. So these plants will continue, right? They're not going to die. But what happens is, you know, there's been a period in which they intensely did not get what they needed. And it left a mark, right? It's going to leave a mark on them. And we're going to do everything we can to get them back on the road and, you know, back up and producing. And, you know, if they just kind of don't make it, and, you know, basically when they get affected like this, they're not able to put up the same defenses against bugs and even other diseases and stuff as well, right? They become susceptible because they're just not able to do the same kind of chemistry they can do if they got everything they need and it's all working, right? They can really start to make even some compounds that will repel bugs, and even if they just get they start synthesizing beyond nitrates and amino acids and stuff and get into fats and lipids and things like that, you know, they stop becoming as digestible to bugs, and especially the soft-shelled things like aphids and caterpillars and stuff like that, because they're really looking for a more simple source of proteins. So, you know, nitrates are really what they're looking for. So if a plant in a 24-hour photo period is able to, you know, pull those nitrates in and synthesize all that to the next level, next couple of levels of chemistry, really, they become less and less susceptible to bug damage and also things like colds. You know, you'd be amazed. You know, they're resilient just like us. The more we have what we need, the easier it is for us to deal with adversity. Man, this is just that's what's true here on planet Earth, right? we're all in the same deal here. Like you know, we need what we need in order to thrive, and things happen. Like sometimes the farmer doesn't cover you up, right? But if you've got the resources, you know, you can withstand a lot. And I'm really sorry that I made them do that, right? And you can see this guy right here is still killing it, right? Like there's, you know, they're gonna be okay. But anyway, like, it's okay. We make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. And a big takeaway here is, man, soil biology is the key to a lot of things. I mean, it is where all the life came from, right? Like the kind of chemicals and stuff we pour on stuff now, it's just us very brutishly trying to copy nature and really doing it for profit. We're not even trying to feed people anymore. We're just trying to profit for the most part. So I don't know. This is my thought, but I wanted to share that we don't always get it right, and you know, that soil biology is a great buffer for where we fall short as gardeners. And you know, so get out there, make some mistakes, and yeah, I don't know. Love y'all. Bye.